all over you, Congress. Look at the demolition processes all over the country. Our people deserve better. And Mr. Baka have to do better. Yo, demolition president. Yo. And let me be quick to register here. I will say in total solidarity and sympathy with those that are sleeping on the street. With our marketeers that have been chased from the street. We're in total sadness with them. Let me also be quick to stay in sadness with the people of Nima County. Recently, the regime unleashed casualty, large bullets on those cadres that were fighting for the rights. The many asked no matter to do just benefits to give them the better standard of living that they deserve. The regime was very well reckless and brutal enough to unleash tear gas and large bullets on our people. We are in sadness and we say in solidarity with our people. Let me also say to Mr. Bwaka, that the day, the time has come for Mr. Bwaka to account for his pitfalls. Down, dictatorship down, autocracy down. For so long, the Liberia people on the rescue mission have been dejected to poverty. Go down West Point, Congress. Go down Nigutown. Go down Point 4. Even go right down to slavery. Our people are dying and wanting actual poverty. While Mr. Bwaka carry $100,000 on a credit card on a daily basis, you cannot support the masses' resources and what we impeded to Mr. Bwaka. The masses, viva, Madre PROSA, viva, down, reactionary down. The masses are documenting the excesses, and we say enough is enough. Enough is enough. That's why the avant-garde progressive alliance of the state will never remain mute. We always say in defense of the defenders of the masses of people. Look at us, student radicals. We are being attacked. Our chairman just recently grabbed the common and the regular police. They were hunting our chairman for no reason. Down. Come on, down. They put everything. What's the chairman is critical of the regime. And Mr. Bwaka cannot sell anybody here. Now we got to come on. We took the power. And it is our right. So the government has to do better. You cannot continue to brutalize the marketeers that are striving to survive. Mr. Bwaka, go down red light. Their goods have been taken away. Go down West Point, go down Waterside. Our people are in total tears. This is not a means that Mr. Gafon can use to finance the 1.2 billion. You cannot chase our people out of their own country. They deserve right to life. So for that battle will now be silent. We'll continue to stay at the barricade and defend the rights of the less privileged. And we remain unapologetic about that. So if for that battle, that will not eat much of the time. Because time has been fast spent. But Mr. Bwaka will hear this. That we are documenting excesses. And the time is now. And Mr. Bwaka will do the rightful thing. So for that battle, Congress and Congress, distinguished member of the 4 estate, cadres and medicine of the avant-garde progressive of the state, you find myself and invoke to the podium the man with the message, the man who was close with the responsibility to get the party official message and official statement. And that person is well positioned. That man is well equipped, very much sophisticated to deliver the party official message. So I told myself, I reduced my heart and zoom onto the podium, the man with the message. He is a teacher of our generation. He's the head of our tendency. The man, he has inspired thousands of Congress around the world. And he continues to strive on that path to inspire leaders. So Comrade Aguilar, Comrade Chairperson, Comrade Chief Conveyor, the podium is yours.
Well, folks, the chairman
Official
Man down. Down. Digo, Paka down. Down. Paka down. Forward. PROSA forward. Luther.
Continue.
Progressive Student Alliance, PROSA, University of Liberia, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Office of the Chairman. The Avant-Garde Progressive Student Alliance of the State University expresses concern over the exorbitant graduation fees and late issuance of clearance. Frowns on the government continuous neglect of the State University. Rejects the Constitutional Review Committee set up by the outgoing president of the University of Liberia Student Interim Enrichment. Comrades and friends, disciples of egalitarianism, crusaders of social justice, academic freedom and peace, militants and cadres of the Progressive Student Alliance of the State University, the dejected masses of our people, exploited plantation and mine workers, conscious students of the Republic, progressive members of the Fourth Estate, distinguished ladies and gentlemen.
Yo, Market PROSA. Yo.
The Revolutionary Avant-Garde Progressive Alliance of the State University, which is to draw the urgent attention of the administration of the University of Liberia to the growing concerns surrounding the issuance of graduation clearance for students awaiting participation in the 105th commencement convocation. We are deeply concerned about the apparent complacency in processing graduation clearances at a time when students are already burdened by the harsh economic realities facing our people and facing the state. Many of our colleagues come from underprivileged backgrounds, children of petty traders and low-income earners who struggle daily to make ends meet. In such circumstance or under such condition, the graduation fee of $380 United States is not only exorbitant, but it is excessively high and places an unfair burden on qualified students who have worked tirelessly to complete their academic sojourn. We therefore call on the administration with immediate effect to establish a smooth, transparent, and accessible clearance process that will enable all qualified members of the 105th graduating class to fully participate in the upcoming graduation ceremony without unnecessary obstacles. Furthermore, it is regrettable that over the past 2 years, the current leadership under the failed rescue regime of the Unity Party has demonstrated insufficient commitment to revitalizing the educational sector. The University of Liberia continues to struggle with deteriorating academic buildings, inadequate seating capacity, forcing students to sit on the floor or stand during lectures, insufficient campus buses, and limited internet connectivity. These conditions are unacceptable in a modern democracy and undermine the quality of higher education. Reported increase in national budgetary allocations. The tangible impact on the university campus and broader student population remains very minimal. We therefore demand that before the reopening of next academic semester, the government and the university authorities should prioritize the provision of additional buses, the renovation of all deplorable buildings on the campuses of the University of Liberia, the installation and restoration of reliable internet connectivity across campuses. Failure to address these pressing concerns. It may compel and leave the Revolutionary Avant-Garde Progressive Alliance of the University of Liberia no obstacle. It will compel the revolutionary movement to rally the students to ensure that the call on the administration of the university and the regime under the leadership of the Unity Party, presided over by President failed deacon Joseph Human Boycott.
Biasa lebat tenesi.
Abbas.
Biasa lebat tenesi.
Abbas.
Waka.
Abbas.
Waka.
Abbas.
Waka.
Abbas.
Tiga.
Hello.
Tiga.
Hello.
To ensure that quality education is being offered at the state-run university and across the republic in all public universities and colleges. Additionally, the African Progressive Alliance of the State-run University raised serious concerns regarding the prolonged absence of democratic student leadership at the state-run university. The University of Liberia has operated under an interim arrangement since 2015, agreed upon campus-based political institutions. According to the MOU, the Memorandum of Understanding, any step toward election must be undertaken in consultation with all recognized political stakeholders or all constituent members of the interim arrangement. We are therefore alarmed by reports and a major concern that the current official leadership under the outgoing president has unilaterally constituted a constitutional review committee aimed at conducting a constitutional reform without a broad-based consultation and participation of the constituent members. Such action constitutes a gross violation of the existing MOU and will make it unequivocally clear that we will not recognize or participate in any electoral process that lacks transparency, inclusivity, and adherence to agree upon procedures laid down within the MOU, within the Memorandum of Understanding. We want to say here to the Liberian people, to the students across the Republic, it has been the fundamental responsibility since the establishment of the Revolutionary Avant-Garde Progressive Alliance of the State-run University.
Yo, that's my problem. Open your ear. Yo.
To ensure that the institution, the militants of the institution do not waver under these unfortunate circumstances and conditions. And so the militants of our institution, as cadres and revolutionaries, we have taken upon ourselves and taken oath to ensure that we protect the values, to ensure that and the fundamental pillar on which this institution exists and it was established.
Yo, Mate PROSA, yo.
And so we can say to the masses of our people across the Republic and to the students, we remain within this space and in this revolutionary formation since our establishment. The institution has spent a decade in existence and has contributed to the popular student struggle, has contributed to the popular people's struggle. And we want to say here, we have a compelling responsibility, and the time is now. That the masses of our people must now start to see the obvious contradictions in the state. That the regime of the Unity Party, the callous regime of the Unity Party, is doing everything possible to ensure that they relegate the ordinary people to nothing. The Unity Party regime under Joseph Human Boycott is doing everything possible to ensure that it spit on the existence of our people. We say the time is now. And history cannot liberate you if you refuse to liberate yourself. We send out this message to the masses of our people to say the time is now for you to rise up to the occasion. The contradictions, the puzzle is being formed. The puzzles, all the pieces have been assembled. It's time now our people rally themselves, mobilize, and get ready to challenge the dictatorship of the Unity Party. And so again we say to the students, to the masses of our people, to the young people across the country that believe in the revolutionary potency of the Avant-Garde Progressive Alliance of the State-run University.
Forward. It's time to rise up. Forward.
We say in life, history afford you the opportunity to either struggle or perish. We say choose which way you go in life. To either agree to subordinate yourself, to subject yourself to dictatorship, or you decide to challenge the regime and to ensure that the regime can provide the basic social services for the masses of our people. And so we say to the Republic, to the young people, long live the popular student struggle, long live the relegated masses of our people, long live the egalitarianism, long live. A luta continua done and issued on the 23rd day of February, AD 2026, by the Missionary Avant-Garde Progressive Alliance of the State University.
So.
Signed, Comrade Cadre Revolutionary Commissar Toga Harris Williams, Secretary General of the Revolutionary Avant-Garde Progressive Alliance of the University of Liberia.
So.
Approved by the 3rd Congressional Chairperson of the Revolutionary Avant-Garde Progressive Alliance of the University of Liberia.
So.
In presence of Comrade Commissar Justin W. Jalaba Jr., Chairperson of the Avant-Garde Progressive Alliance of the State University.
So.
Manda. So thank you very much to members of the Fourth Estate.
So, folks,
We salute you. So the floor is now open for 3 progressive questions. So please make your question very much succinct. Let it be in line with the statement that the chairman just read. So the procedure, call your name, and you introduce yourself, you call your name, who is the team represent. So we just take almost 3. Yeah.
Okay, my name is Gerard Morris. I report for Freedom FM. I heard you talk about the fees of the graduation is exorbitant. But I think last graduation, the graduate even pay more than that. So how can you reconcile the 2 fees?
The next question. Chairman, talking about that. Next question.
Okay, I represent Keep FM and also people for Folk TV Liberia. My question is, what do you hope for as a youth, let me say, as a student body? What do you hope for in the years to come in order for the university to be transformed? Because you talk about it when you are at the university. What do you hope for? What do you really want the government to do?
Okay.
Yeah, so again, we want to say we appreciate the progressive members of the Fourth Estate. You guys are strategic partners for our movement. Whenever we have press engagement, we always encourage your participation. Or hesitated in coming to ensure that you give us a coverage. So you asked the question about the fees.
The fees, yeah.
And you said, you referenced to the last graduation, the fee was even higher or higher than now what the graduates or the prospective graduates are expected to pay or have been paid. And this is what we continue to see. And moving forward, our institution as a revolutionary movement, this is what we, and that's the reason why we are using this medium to communicate to the administration of the university to correct this. This is the state-run university, for God's sake. You are talking about a university where over 80% of those who attend the University of Liberia cannot even afford their basic needs under such a harsh economic condition in the state. You come to the state-run university, even for registration fee, people paying $2,500. And on the day of graduation, you are telling people to pay a whooping sum or a whooping amount of $380. We think that particular amount is very, very, very high. That fee is exorbitant. And that's the reason why the government should intervene. And the administration of the university moving forward should see reason that particular fee should be drastically reduced to enable students who have already gone through the academic requirements to give them the opportunity to ensure that they can form part of the graduation exercise and not to be excluded simply because they cannot afford. And as a revolutionary movement for us, we take it serious. And that has been the nature of our struggle. Since our establishment, we have always argued, we have lamented, and we have always stood on the side of those underprivileged and marginalized students who cannot afford in the state.
Reactionary tendency. Reactionary tendency. Over there. Yo. There were our 3 Indians going. Yo.
Party, yo. You ain't talking. That's to mind. All people party. Luther.
And so the administration should be telling us what's the justification for imposing such a very, very exorbitant amount of $280 on people who refer to as prospective graduates? What's the logic? The administration should be telling us the logical justification for such decision. Because we think that particular fee is high and that the administration should look into it, should be very, very, very magnanimous enough to ensure that they reduce or alleviate the financial burden on the students. These are people who struggle throughout their academic sojourn to acquire the tertiary education. We know what some of our colleagues, some of our comrades today who have reached to the point of graduation, we know what they've been through, we know what they went through throughout their academic sojourn. And we know the economic condition. We know the reality in the state. In a society where vast majority of the young people are jobless, under such conditions, horrible conditions, you don't expect students who have gone through the academic channel and have exhausted all the rigors, the academic rigors. You don't expect them under such conditions to raise the amount of $380 under a condition where the administration started to give clearance late. You announce graduation day, and in 2 to 3 days, you are still issuing clearance.
Yo, that's my problem. That's my problem. Yo.
You are still issuing clearance. And this is where our concern, this is where we raise serious concern. The president of the university, Dr. Lara Mapayan, we think that she has had some level of international experience. And as per international best practice and conventional standard, nowhere in the world, the University of Liberia, the only university that 2 days or 1 day to graduation, even on the day of graduation, the university still be issuing clearance.
Yeah.
It is backward. It is backward in its nature. And that's the reason why we say there should be reform instituted here at the university. These things should change. And you giving clearance 1 or 2 days to graduation and expect students to raise the amount of $380 is illogical. It doesn't make sense. And that's the reason why we say the administration should give us reason. And we are calling on the administration using this channel to ensure that they look into it and moving forward, that particular mistake should be corrected. And you ask another question on what we hope to achieve or to see. And that's the reason why we have said over time, our responsibility.
Down, backwardness, down. Late clearance delay, down.
But my problem, down. Our responsibility as student militants and as the most genuine and authentic revolutionary student movement on the campuses of the University of Liberia. So, it is our fundamental responsibility as a revolutionary movement to ensure that we continue to echo, we continue to flag out some of the major concerns that students at the university are faced with. And we continue to say this, we don't do this because we want to take glory. We do this because we are passionate about the transformation of the university and the forward march of the State University. We are doing this because we are concerned about the level of education being acquired, the level of education being offered or provided here at the State University. We do this because in years to come, some of us will not be around, will not be in the space. But we want to have an environment very conducive enough, an environment where the University of Liberia can be compared to any other university around the world. And this has been the nature of our struggle. And that's the reason why we are in this particular space. And so we continue to engage the administration. And that's the reason why in our press statement we say, in the coming days, next semester, we are going to ensure that our institution will pressure the administration of the university, and we are going to ensure that we engage the regime, because the United Party regime, the United Party came to power on a promise to transform the system, especially the educational system of this country, but it has become clear, it has become evidential that the United Party, upon taking power for 2 years now, there has been a deliberate neglect of the educational sector. If you look at the university under the rescue mission, in 2 years, the University of Liberia is still in its same condition. The University of Liberia is still in the same rooms, in the same tatters. The argument in this particular dispensation should not be about building the university buildings. But But now we think that we should graduate or transcend that particular argument. But it's unfortunate that the regime of the Unity Party care less of all lamented over time. We've called on the Unity Party regime, we've engaged the system. They have decided to play deaf ear and blind eye to the existing reality on the university campus. And for us, we are revolutionary. And so we don't get tired. Even if we leave the space or we leave the stage, the foundation has already been set. And our men will come after us to inherit this space, and will continue to advocate and agitate for the rights and privileges of the university students. And so it is our responsibility that a progressive student movement, what we anticipate, what we hope to see, is to see a university that will be improved to a standard that will be appreciable enough where it can be compared to other universities in Africa and across the world.
Thank you so much. Just a follow up, and I want to sway the attention now from the University of Liberia to Liberia's broader economy. Yesterday, we witnessed a scene from the government where the first batches of yellow machines arrived, with the United Party government saying that they have already succeeded with the yellow machines in Congo right now. As a student group and also a pressure group behind this government, what's your own stance and position on the issue of the yellow machines within the Republic of Liberia?
Yeah, so on the issue of the yellow machine, you know, the United Party regime, the level of infantilism, the regime is so challenged. It is the responsibility of the government to ensure that development is guaranteed across the republic. And in fact, the yellow machine thing is long overdue, because from the inception of the entire yellow machine saga, the administration, the government have refused to follow the rightful procedure. And so they have been trying to use backdoor approach and now following the rightful channel of the procedure, the governance procedure in procuring. You leave the PPCC and the president establish your own committee to procure yellow machine. And we can say here to you, the government has just been challenged. The arrival of few yellow machines, it start to do for the purpose of optics. We know the regime been surviving. The United Party came to power. They made a lot of promises to our people, and they could do it differently. They could transform their country overnight. But the reality are not set in. And so now, our people now understand that there are two things. When you are in opposition and opting for state power, you are not in a position to make some commitments in terms of development and transforming the social condition of our people. But when the people entrust you with power and now you have the governance, you are in charge of the governance of the state, it is your responsibility to ensure that you provide development and you also provide social development for the masses of our people. And so you talk about yellow machine. For us, we think that the level of mediocrity in our society is something that we should get rid of. While we're a serious government, people are running with yellow machine as though it's the biggest achievement for the Unity Party. And if that is the biggest achievement for the Unity Party, then it's sad. We should be asking the Unity Party regime, aside from the yellow machine, why it would take the Unity Party to maintain, we talk about maintaining costs, to maintain the yellow, not to just bring the yellow machine and parade with yellow machine on the streets. The last time we saw them parading with yellow machine, we hope that they will not return the other machine that they brought, the yellow machine, the few pieces they brought, we hope they will not return it. The last time,
the boss return, the boss no maintenance.
The last time Amaka Benete lied to the republic, lied to the mass of our people, paraded here with few machines. Later on, they had to send it back. We don't trust their government. We be clear. There's a very, very infantile regime, very challenge, and for us, we don't buy into that. You see people parading on face where we celebrating yellow machine. We think that is the biggest achievement for the Unity Party, because we listen to the president's sonar. Instead of the national dread, all the data that the president gave to the republic, these were all fraudulent data. They were not exact. They were fake. They were cooked data that the president gave to the republic, 70,000 jobs. So we know that the regime is doing absolutely nothing. So the regime is only operating on borrowed time. And we can only say here to you, it's just a matter of time. And the Unity Party will be history very soon. Because the Liberian people trusted them to provide serious governance. We talk about governance in a very serious context. for what they offer to the Liberian people, what they gave back to the Liberian people is not what our people expected. So they can go ahead in their normal charade. They can go ahead in their normal challenge attitude. You think that a serious revolutionary movement will come and look at a unity party regime passing around a few pieces of yellow machine and say, we want to say, yeah, the fact we don't even trust that entire process. The regime from its inception have decided not to follow lawful orders. Leaving the PPCC establish your own committee to procure yellow machine. You brought the 5 pieces, you send it back. So we are watching them. Probably maybe you will send that there's a possibility that the regime will send this other yellow machine back. So we know that regime. We know the United Party.
Sending back regime. Yo.
We know the United Party regime. We know them. So we know that they are operating on nothing. The regime is naked. We told you that the regime presented an arrest agenda that they should use to provide sound governance for the state. We told you that that arrest agenda it's only existing on a flying sheet. There was no comprehensive document to show or explanation detailing.
The regime is naked. I'm already upon naked. Yo.
Detailing significant governance that will improve the living condition of our people and to ensure the forward march of the Liberian society. So we know the United Party regime.
Actionary tendency.
Abbas.
The actionary tendency.
Abbas. And we can only say just a matter of time. And so, on the yellow machine issue, that's just the nature of the United Party from its inception. It's a challenge. It's a very challenged regime. The United Party is very challenged to still be parading with yellow machine. And yellow machine has become a serious conversation in our country. I think when people start to follow what's happening in our country, they get to realize that, like, bro, we're not serious. We're not serious. And so the United Party must not reduce the governance of our state to such a. So we say thank you to the progressive members of the 4SA again for coming, for providing this coverage. We want to say to the militants and the standing forces of the revolutionary avant-garde progressive alliance of the State University, we say we salute you for your courage, for your resilience,